Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Ask Project. Here's my OG guest, Travis Young. Roll the intro.
Welcome to the Ice Project. Welcome to the Ice Project.
My guy. What's up?
Doing, bar.
Man, first of all, happy 2021. Wish you and your family nothing but health, happiness, and success. So thank you for jumping on.
Cheers, bro.
We've been practicing gratitude around here. So what's one thing you're grateful for today?
It's always for me. It's always my family. It's my two boys and Chloe. They're the reason why I get up in the morning and do what I do. They're like the motivation every day for me to keep going and doing what I do. And just honestly, I was talking to you about your dog before, but once you get your own kid, you'll understand what I mean. Like, you come home and your son's there and they say, "Hey, daddy, love you," and stuff like that. Like my youngest, he's got too much energy, bro. He runs out the front. He's like, "Bye, dad, love you." And one day, most days, if I don't give him two time, I got to run back in, give him two time. Yeah. He's like, "Dad, you're my best friend." I'm like,
that's good to hear, isn't it?
That's what I'm grateful for, my family.
So why do you have so much energy?
I think it comes down to my sleep routine. So back to my kids as well. A lot of people ask me this because most people that are parents struggle with their sleep routine, but we've got a really good routine as a family. So
you're in bed early, eh?
Early, man. Like the earlier the better. But I'm up at 4, right? My natural body clock just is up at 4 a.m. So when I get home from work, it's either between 5:30 and 6 or about 6:30. They're the latest that I get back from work. I come in, Chloe's already got food ready to go. What a woman, man. So that's ready to go. Bang, we eat. The kids have already eaten. And then by the time it hits 7 o'clock, everyone's upstairs. If they haven't already showered, and we're showering, like all the boys, I got a double shower. So they go straight in there. They shower. They go straight into their rooms. They both got their own TV. So it's pretty cute. Ace, my youngest, he watches like a normal cartoon show. And then my eldest, he's real cute, sensitive. He watches some mass show. I don't know what it is, but
What's a mass show?
Like mass numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like numbers and blocks and stuff.
How
like
Asian.
That. Oh, so Asian, man. Luckily he got it because I don't. I'm no good with numbers. That's why I got Pat. But so both the boys, they go off into their own rooms and they know that routine, and then I read my book. So they have about 20, 30 minutes depending on how early we get up. And then they have 20, 30 minutes, both their TVs go on timer. And then once their TVs go off, I go in, I say goodnight to Ace. I just lay with Ace for like 2 minutes, and he's like, "Dad, get out." Yeah. He's the one with heaps of energy. And then I lay with Jet. And Jet, it's funny that you do the gratitude, because every single night with Jet, we do it at the dinner table too, but with Jet, we go through. I ask him, "What's your three best things for the day?" And he'll run me through what his favorite thing was in the morning, at school, and after school. And
what type of answers do you get?
He knows what to say.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. So most of the time he'll throw, the last one will be like when Daddy came home or something like that.
Yeah.
He knows what to say. But some of the conversations I have with Jed they're heaps different to what I have with Ace. He's 6, and he'll ask me about being a leader. One day he asked me when I think he was in his first or his second term of school. So last year he goes, "Oh, so I want to be the leader tomorrow." And I'm like, "Leader of what?" He goes, "The leader of the line." And this is just at school when they first rock up. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I go, "Why?" He goes, "Because you're the leader." I go, "How do you know I'm the leader?" And he's like, "Oh, because he understood that I was the owner of Reborn and the boss and stuff like that." So then I started talking to him about leadership. And ever since then, I've always talked to him about like working hard, and like I talked to him about, like I was joking about the other day, but I actually talked about my kids about like liabilities and assets and stuff like that. like I start talking to them about that so they understand that language, like when they get older. When they get older. To them right now, it's just going in one ear and out the other, but eventually it's all going to click, you know. So, and I think that's something that I know my dad didn't talk to me about at all was money and work and business and stuff like that. It was always quite separate. Whereas my whole life is revolved around Reborn. So like I include them in like, you know, what's going on, and I always tell them like, you know, I go, you ask my boys, "What's Daddy building here?" He'll go, "He's building an empire." So like I talk to him about that stuff and what I'm doing and what I'm trying to achieve, and yeah, they love it, because one of the things I talked to Jed about was hard work, and I said, I'm gonna buy a new car. And he's like, "Okay, why are you going to buy a new car?" I was like, "Because I've worked hard and I'm going to get it when Daddy's 5 years sober. So I'll be 5 years sober in 1 month, 1 day from today." So I've gone and got that car for that moment. I was talking about the hard work and what you
delayed gratification. Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, they're the types of things that I talk to Jed about at the moment. Ace is he's a bit different, man.
Yeah,
Like he's me. Jet's real soft and sensitive, and then Ace is like, but you think I got a lot of energy? He'll be up at 4 a.m. as well, and he'll be rocking it till he goes to sleep like later than me sometimes. He's very, very energetic.
How do you define leadership?
I reckon a leader does. Sorry, let me get this right. A leader, the best way to lead is to lead by example. But you lead. You do as a leader says. Do as I do, not do as I say. I find a lot of leaders, a lot of business owners is point the finger, you do this, you do that, where either they haven't done it before, they don't know how to do it, whereas I'll get in the trenches first and I'll do it first. And you're the perfect example, actually. You've learned to do everything on your own. So it's do as I do, like not do as I say. So that's how I think a leader is best to lead anyway.
That's awesome. And it's obviously, that's crazy, the type of impact you're having on you got 2 children right there. One's asking about leadership, one's sort of following your actions as well. So obviously it's in a great example. So you must be proud. Yeah,
he's proud. It's a great example of like Ace and Jet. They'll come to my work and they'll see me doing exercise. And one of the first things Ace asks me when I get home, he goes, "Daddy, how was your day?" Every single time. And then he'll go, "Who'd you train with?" Because he knows I train every morning. So he asked me, who do I train with? Jet's not quite there, but when we went away to Byron, I had both the boys and I train out the front of the place we're staying, and they train with me. So they just see it every single day. Dad gets up, he trains, and when he walks in, when he walks in after training, like they're just waking up, they see me all sweaty, and that Ace is like, "Oh, Daddy, you're wetty, you're so wetty." But they said that every single morning they see me do that, and how like I had this kind of conversation with my dad, because my dad was like, "You got to channel Ace's energy in the right way," because he's very similar to me, and I kind of got my back up a bit. I was like, nah, like all I've got to do is continue doing what I'm doing, because Ace is going to follow what I do. He's going to do what I do. He's not going to do what I say. But if I keep doing the right thing that I'm doing at the moment, that's the path that he's going to lead.
Could you understand where your dad was coming from?
Yeah, because that was me. That was me. As a kid, I needed to channel my energy into the right things. And as you've seen in my journey, when I channel into the bad way, I go hard down the bad way. But now you look at what I've done in the last 5 years, when I'm channeling my energy into the good things.
Good things happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Marry, fuck, kill. Scope.
Oh,
Normie.
Don't do this to me.
Chico. I just want to throw a curveball at your hair.
Why would you do that to me? It's the boys, man.
Because it goes against everything you're about, and I want to check you.
You know that I love the boys so much too.
Marry, fuck, kill, Scope, Normie, Chico.
I want you to know I'm not happy about this.
That's why the question's in there.
All right. So, Chico, I love you, but you're getting killed. I love the boys. Because Normie is the coolest cat ever. That's who I'm sleeping with. He's the coolest cat. And Scope, I was thinking about this the other day. Scope, I'm marrying him because he's that guy in the change rooms that no matter where you come from, everyone loves him. Everyone loves the Scope. I'm marrying Scope. And I'll marry him every single day. I love that guy.
Good boys. All right, congrats on the wedding. Obviously, it looks like a great day. What made you want to get married? How was your wedding day, and how's it been ever since?
Okay, so what made me want to get married? Chloe's always been that girl for me. Like it sounds a bit cliche, but like she was literally like I remember when I first saw her, and I was like, I'm going to marry that girl.
She's from Cronulla?
She's from Cronulla. She was a few years younger than me. She's 4 years younger than me. And how I met her was through, I had a mate that was mates with her sister, and then like I just saw her around. I was like, holy shit, she's a glamour. So I always wanted to marry, even before like I even spoke to her. And I said it in my wedding speech heaps, as like I was pretty much just like a grade 5 stalker for Chloe. So always wanted to marry her. Then obviously got myself in that position to start dating her. Then we had Ace. It was just how my life was going, and it was a perfect little moment. Like we were talking about before. Got to propose to her in our favourite location that we holidayed into, your home area, sort of Queenstown, New Zealand. They're close.
Yeah, it looks similar. Looks very similar, bro. Where I grew up.
New Zealand's like a small place, eh? Yeah. So that and ever since then, it's not much change really. It's just the same old. She just has a different last name now and a big ring on her finger.
Is that cool seeing her last name change because it matches your? A lot of people do it for their kid because my brother got married. And he asked why his mum's name was different to ours.
Yeah.
Oh, to their names. And that's pretty much why my brother got married, got guilt tripped into marrying his partner. Yeah, it must be a nice thing to see.
Yeah,
isn't
that was really nice. And like you see, like now, and like we travel in that, and it's Chloe.
It's
Young.
all aligned.
Yeah, it's all on the boarding passes and stuff like that. So that's cool as.
Obviously, you're a trainer and you see a lot of these stories, but our boy, Mr. Wagyu, you guys are fucking tight as tight comes. And he walked through that front door one time, very unassuming. He sat down, we had a 2-hour conversation, and I was like, fuck, this guy's a really cool guy.
Bro.
But he was a big boy, man, and the transformation you must be proud of.
Have you seen him now?
Yeah.
Bro, he's
scary.
He's I think he'd be around 100 clicks now. Like he was up at 150, 160 before I met him. But yeah, that's an unbelievable story of how we met. So he said that from his end, he was just searching through Instagram and came across my page and liked what he saw. And obviously I was throwing up some steaks at the time. You know I love my steaks. So
very routine with your dinner, aren't you?
Tuesday, Thursday, steak night tonight, baby. Let's go. Tuesday, Thursdays, and sometimes, no, not sometimes, most times, one of the weekends, Friday or Saturday nights as well. But yeah, Mr. Wagyu, just he hit me up and he's like, hey, I like your page. I like what you're about. I've got some steaks. I'm interested in if you would like to sample some of them. I was like, yeah, of course. I love steaks, man. I swear to God, I got the steaks I had in my fridge already. I took photos of them, right? And I'm like, they're not going to be as good as these ones. Yeah, no way. Yeah. Anyways, but this was all, we'll get into what happened around COVID, but this was literally, he messaged me the weekend restaurants got shut down. I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure it was the Friday was when restaurants got shut down, and then on the Mondays when I got shut down. So it was a sliding doors moment, and he got in. Anyways, he dropped the steaks off just before I went live for my first ever online session. And I was G'd up, energy coming out my eyeballs, as you can imagine. And I'm talking to him about, this is what I'm going to do. This is the stance that I'm going to make against coronavirus, blah, 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 blah. And he got quite motivated from it as well. And I went online, I ate the steaks later on that night. It was a great celebratory dinner. And then I was like, whoa. These steaks are grouse, man. These are unbelievable. Then I gave him a few of them to the other boys. I think it was Dukes and maybe Jamos or Boydie, one of those two. And then ever since then, me and Louis did a video for him, and that video kicked for him hard for his company. Then we've just kind of stayed together, and I just keep pulling him with me when it comes to his training. And I think he's like 60 kilos deep now.
Shit, that's crazy, bro. That's like a whole person, eh? And so.
I see him, like, so he goes away for like 3 or 4 days at the moment, like, and then he'll come back, and I'm like, bro, you've lost more weight, and he's getting thinner, he's getting bigger and muscle wise as well, and he's completely transformed from where he was, and personality wise too. He was when I first met him, he was quiet and I wouldn't say insecure, but like he had that kind of feel about him, but he's changed heaps now.
Man, it must feel good seeing those types of stories, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when they become mates like he is, and we're looking at doing some really big business together too, me and Mr. Wagyu. So it's so good to see someone do that, and you feel like I'm a part of his journey, like it's like my journey as well. But yeah, it's a beautiful moment to sit there. Like every now and then, like lately, I've just he's walked in the door, and I just look at him, I go, brah, you should be so proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And he's got a grin, ear to ear.
He got a cheesy grin too, eh?
Yeah, and he's like a little kid, and you just feel so happy for him, and like he goes like everything. He messages me all the time, like saying how grateful he is for what how his life's changed and from hanging around me. And you just look at him and you're like, you're a whole new person. Like his eyes are just brighter. Like everything is just so much clearer, and you just can see how much more energy he's got compared to when I first met him. So yeah, it's a really beautiful thing.
You're a good man, Trevi. 2 years ago, we had our very first podcast together. Both didn't know what the fuck we were doing, but that's podcast. Like one thing I love about podcasts, the evergreen, we still get sort of messages from it, eh? And do you want to talk about some of those messages that have come off the back of it? People going into rehab.
I still get messages from that one podcast that we did, eh? I can't tell you how often, probably 3 or 4 a day, I'll be getting a message. Sorry, 3 or 4 messages a day from people that are, been through tough times. And then the best thing is now, bro, because it was 2 years ago, you're getting people going, oh, bro, I'm 9 months sober, I'm 12 months sober, I'm 18 months sober since and then you got the day ones that watched it and then they changed their life. And they're like, bro, I just hit 2 years. I've got a guy coming up to 3 years soon as well. So, and like, it's sick because they keep me along their journey as well. And they talk to me about, you know, the highs and lows and what they've achieved, and then they go, oh, every time I was in this like low point, I seen like one of your stories and it resonated with me and bang, got me back on the bandwagon. I've had people fall off, then jump back on, and yeah, it's honestly that one podcast has changed a lot of things in my life. You know, I get recognized quite a bit too. I think I messaged you when I went down Melbourne. It happened a few times as well. There's one pretty funny one. It's like not a good thing, but it was funny. So I was up Byron Bay and I was doing the Lighthouse stairs. It was pissing down rain. It was me, Gary, Mr. Wagyu, and my brother-in-law and Gray. And we're coming up the stairs and we'll flog too, and we finished at the top. And I could see this group of boys coming up, and I'm like, oh, these boys are on a Larry Bender. One dude's got a hoodie on, then the dude next to him's got no shirt on, and then there's a guy carrying an esky, and another guy carrying a wine glass and a bottle of red wine. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what are these boys up to? Then I got close and went, I know.
I've been there before.
I've seen this before.
And it was scoping that.
It was Chico. No, so the dude walks up, he's walking past me and he goes, hey, Trav. I go, hey. He goes, I know you. And I went, hey, bro, how are you? And he goes, oh, like, I listen to your podcast with Ice. And I'm like, oh, that's hectic. And then his mate comes over, he goes, hey, bro, how are you? And then he looks at his other mate and he goes, who is he? And I go, oh, I'm Trav and Brad. So a few of them recognise me from, you know, our podcast and the YouTube channel of yours. And I shook their hands like, oh, can we get a photo? I'm like, yeah, sweet, bro, of course. So we're getting this photo, right? And this dude's standing next to me and he's like, his jaws swinging side to side. His eyes are wide open. He looks at me and goes, Bar, listen to your podcast with Ice. And I swear to God, changed my life. I stopped. I kind of had to. I took a little step back and looked him in the eyes. Okay, did it? Yeah, did it, bro. Anyway, it was funny as and they go, "Can you put it up for us?" I was like, "Yeah, sweet." And then later on that night, that guy that said, "Oh, you changed my life," he goes, "Oh, look, I'm so sorry, like that you saw me like that." That was the first time he's drunk in like 6 months. He just so happened to run into me, and it was the reason why he stopped drinking was because of our podcast. Oh wow! And then he goes, "I'm so sorry that you saw that, but I was on a footy. It was their first night of their footy trip." And he goes, but like, you honestly did change my life. But when he said it to me, I was like, I was looking at his jaw swinging, eyes open. He goes, you changed my life. I was like, oh, did it?
Yeah, not that much.
Did it?
Nah, that's cool. That's a cool story. And that might have just been, you know, we talked about where people go through low parts and they might see your message, bro. That's the ultimate little wake up call, eh? You're on a bender and fuck Travis Young getting after it, coming after. Yeah, bro, that's cool.
I said that to him. I said, that was meant to be, man.
100%.
Like, what are the chances of you walking up there? It was pissing down rain. I don't know what they were doing, and I don't know what they were going to do at the Lighthouse. It's literally a lighthouse. You can't do anything there. And they were walking up, and they had to walk because you can't drive your car up. Mind you, I don't know who was driving. I don't want to know that either. But you can't. You can only like park about 700 meters away. It's a fair walk when you're blind as well. But I said it was fate. You know, like you were meant to see me at that point. Like at that right moment. And I'm a big believer in things happening for a reason. Massive.
100%. All right. One of our favorite things to talk about, business, COVID, crazy times. We were always okay because the type of industry you're in, your industry got slapped across the fucking face.
100 bar.
Talk us about that little experience.
Oh,
you seemed excited when it happened, eh? You just felt like it was a challenge.
Yeah,
I've been here before.
100%, man. I did. I got really excited. And there's a few reasons why, and I'll run you through the story. So, about 3 weeks before we got shut down, right? There was all the whispers, before we actually got shut down, it was always like, nah, there's no way we're actually getting shut down. Like, no one actually believed that the place was going to go into lockdown. Like, from my point of view, from the people I was hanging out with, the discussions I was having. I thought it was like bullshit. I'm not going to lie. But I sat down and I wrote down 3 different things, 3 different scenarios that possibly could happen. I wrote down they're going to limit what we can do in class, right? So I wrote down three options that we could do in the class, and that was, you know, making each area designated, blah, blah, blah. You know, option B was to do more outdoor classes and do online classes. Option C was to go online. Right, so I found the piece of paper the other day too. Like, it was written on just a notepad, and I just just ripped it off, and that was my plan. But I actually didn't think that it was going to happen. I knew that there was going to be more restrictions around what we had to do in the gym, like, and we prepared for that. So we were walking around with like the tool belts, and we had like the sprays, and the paper towels and everything stuffed in, and we were doing that and that's the best thing about Reborn, right? Even in like a negative situation, we're always really positive, and we're not taking the piss, but we're having fun with the situation. So I got that ready, and then I said to my team, we normally do upskilling on Wednesday, but I said, look, we're not going to do that this Wednesday. I want you to write down 5 at-home workouts. I'm going to film them just in case we go into lockdown, right? So we had 30 at-home workouts that were filmed over the course of one day. Nate was just going hard. They were pretty easy. It's like, hey, guys, here's the session. Bang, 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 bang. This is what you got to do. So it's like a 1-minute video. So that 2 weeks rolled around, and then it was on the Friday. ScoMo did an announcement saying that there was going to be more restrictions to gyms. There was going to be, I think it was only like 10 per class at the time, and you were allowed to do outdoors or something like that. So bang, I get onto, we've got our Reborn Legends group. It's got all of our current and past members on it. And then I did a video to there saying, all right, guys, this is what we're doing. Here's the problem, here's the solution. Bang, 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 bang. Saturday rolls around, ScoMo makes another announcement. It gets tighter and tighter, and he goes, we're going to be shutting gyms down on the Tuesday or something like that. It was like it was getting tighter. It was definitely on the Tuesday. And I'm like, all right. So then bang, I go into the studio. Me and Paddy go in again. I'd film another, all right, guys, here's the problem, here's the solution. Bang, bang, bang. This is what we're going to do. So I think I've just gone from my A plan to my B plan, and then it gets to the Sunday night, right? And you, as you mentioned, I go to bed early. I go to bed real early. So I was asleep like at 7:30 this one night. Anyways, I wake up in the morning at 4, go downstairs, and I open my phone, and it says, there's a message from Chloe. I'm like, is Chloe messaging me before? She's like, hey, babe, you're asleep right now. But ScoMo just did an announcement. Gyms are shut at 12.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, shit. Shit.
Yeah.
So it just jumped from that 2 to 3 weeks. You know, we were doing all the things that we needed to do, but it just really escalated over the weekend. I can't remember what. It might have been that Bondi thing. I'm not sure if that's the right timing. Remember, there was all those people at Bondi? I think it might have been that. But anyway, so it was such a weird morning because we had 4 classes to run that morning, and we ran 5 classes. So we ran all those 5 classes. But there's this weird feeling. You didn't feel like that anything was about to change, but everything was about to change. So once we finished that, we had a meeting. I got my whole team around. And I go, all right, guys, here's what's going to happen. We're going to get through this. Not one person here is going to be laid off. Every single person in this room keeps their job. My number one priority, whether this happens for 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, is every single person in this room keeps their job, and I keep you guys all employed. Now, how I'm going to do that is completely up to me. You guys don't have to worry about that. I'll come up with the solutions. Now, do you have money backed up for savings or anything like this, or not really? Not for how big that, what I was going to do. Like we would have got by for about a month. We were sweet for about a month. I did the maths. I was like, I could do this for a month with no income. And I'm like, no, I need to figure out a solution. I need to figure it out now. So what the option was to do, right? And I said to the teams, to my team, I said we can either go outdoor, or we can go online. Outdoor and online, or we just go straight online. I knew what I wanted to do, but I always include everyone and ask them first, and then I say this is my decision from what we just talked about. And 2 of the boys, I think Paddy and Tommy, were pretty keen to go outdoor. Then everyone else was kind of on the fence, but Dykes in particular was like, nah, we shouldn't go outdoor. And I said, like, here's my opinion. This is what I thought before we started the meeting, is that if we go outdoor, we're going to be a part of the problem, not the solution, right? So I'm getting anywhere from 30 to 60 people per class, right? And we've got 9 to 10 classes a day. If we're doing an outdoor class where we've got 2 or 3 of them in a day, I'm going to get 60, 80 people to one class. But that ain't going to look good. So in hindsight too, it was a very good decision. So I go, no, we're not going outdoor. We're going straight online. The reasons why is, one, first, what I said before, I want to be part of the solution, not the problem. But number 2, I want to get a jump on everyone else, because you got to go online. We may as well do it first. So I put out the video to all my clients, all the members. I'm like, hey guys, This is what we're doing. This is why we're doing. Here's the problem. Here's the solution. Bang, 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 bang. All right? Same thing. For the
Travis back again.
Oh, man. I think I did 4 videos in 3 days of just like these same things, man. Like, but every time, like we were coming up with solutions. They were good solutions too. And this one was, all right, we're going online and that's all we're doing. We're not going outdoor because I don't want to be part of the solution, not the problem. That was about 2 o'clock on the Monday Arvo, right? From 2 o'clock to 8 p.m., Paddy's email, like our admin email, bing, 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 suspend. Everyone freaking out, right? Like, I'm not going online. I don't want to go. Like, I don't know what that's going to be like. And all these different things of like, people losing their jobs as well. So I was really morbid. And I remember about 7 to 7:30, bro, I was a sook, full on sook, right? I'm sitting there and I'm kicking stones, and I was talking to one of my members who's a mate of mine, and like he was like, "Nah, bro, like you got this. You're sweet. Like you, if anyone can get out of this, you can get out of this." And I remember I kind of looked at myself and I'm like, because I was literally sitting on the couch, head down, in my phone, like, and I just went, "Nah, I'm gonna be the inspiration in this moment. And through this time, I've got to be one inspiration for my family, but then I've got to do it for my team." And then I got to do it for my Reborn community. I was like, that's it. I'm making a stance right now. And I did a post. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. But it was more for me to keep me accountable.
Accountable, yeah, of course.
Right? And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be that person. All I want to know is who's coming with me. Like, I was like, I'm going for it. This is what's happening. I went for a run the next morning with Paddy, my manager. And we're running along, and Paddy's like, "Oh, bro, like, did you see how many emails we got? Did you see this person's lost their job? Did you see this? Did you see that? The numbers are going to be here." And I stopped him about a K, like we were jogging along. I say, "Bro, like, stop." He's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, but like, you're going to need to hear it." I go, No. I'm not saying it's like it's making me upset. I'm saying it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant right now, because what we've got to do is not worry about the numbers. All me and you got to do is worry about being the most inspirational people we can be and being positive. If we can be positive through this dark time, the rest will sort itself out. And for that rest of that run, we just kept talking about positivity and what we can do and what the solutions were. Not for the rest of the AK run did he mention another number about what was happening. I said, don't worry about what's happening. This is what we're doing. We're going to focus around positivity. And as soon as we got back, and you know that runner's high when
endorphins are in.
And you're the king and you know what's going on. Bang, straight up on the story, said, Reborn, we're going live tonight, 5:15 we're going to do our first ever live session. I want everyone to jump on board. Let's go. This is going to be amazing. And just went hard. I said, and I made a promise to everyone too in that story. I was like, for however long this goes for, I'll train every single day, and every single morning you'll see a story from me saying that I'm getting after it and nothing's changing. My routine will stay the same, so on and so forth. So it rolls around to around 5, and that's where Gary walked in, and I'm walking around all G'd up, ready to go for this live session. And like I did a few trial runs, and prior to this, I think I'd only done 1 or 2 meetings on Zoom. I didn't really know how it worked, but anyways, I got hooked up to the TV. I said, all right, I got Nate's our, he's our videographer, and I said, all right, you're going to film it. We're going to go hard, and then what we're going to do, we're going to give our members the Zoom sessions for free for the rest of the week. On Friday, we launch our membership. And I explained to my team, I said, this is how it's going to work. We're going to rent off all my equipment. Everything we had in the gym is going to be rented out to everyone in the gym. And then we're going to go online. And what we're going to do is each person, every person that signs up to a membership is going to get a coach. And that coach is going to call them every single week, and I'm going to pay you for that. I'm going to pay you for classes. I'm going to pay you for calling them every single week, and then we're going to generate revenue through renting out all my equipment. And I have a lot of equipment, which was good, and I own it all, so that was the best part. I don't have any loans for my equipment, so I bought. It was a bad thing at the time when I look back business wise, but it helped me here because I wasn't double having to pay. It was everything that was coming in was able to cover everything. So that was how we're going to cover, everyone's salaries and make sure that everyone kept a job. So it gets to 5 and I'm just ready to rock and roll. Bang. Here we go. I'm thinking, we can get 10, we can get 20. I was like, I'll be happy with 25, to be honest. And then boom, 75 people came online. 75 people. And I look back now and that's a shitload of people on a Zoom class. And I was like, I think that's good. Like, and on the Zoom at the time, you could only have 9 screens. So we're just swiping across, just going, yeah, this is sick. And because Zoom was built for us because not Zoom. Online sessions were built for us because you need to bring energy. There's no one that brings more energy than me and the boys. So we were just going hard, and we just did them for the rest of the week. So on Monday we had no gym at all. Like there was no revenue coming in for the foreseeable future. On the Tuesday night, we launched our first session, and by the Friday, I launched the membership. And we signed up around 250 people to it. And by the end of COVID, we got up to 300. So we had 300 members online by the end of COVID. And it sounds bad because there was so much tough times for people, but I really, really enjoyed that time. A better way of saying it is perfect for this is I was grateful. I was able to learn to pivot on the spot. I was able to adjust, able to adapt. I was able to change a lot of things in my business and you probably would have seen this as well. You didn't realize the little unnecessary things that you were doing through your business. Yeah. And I look back and even pays and stuff like that. Like I've got me, especially Paddy, we've got a heaps better system now where, he's incentivized to get more people to come into the gym as well. So I was able to look back on the business model and change those things. And that time I'll be forever grateful for. And because I was able to, learn so much about myself. A part of me felt, this sounds really strange, and I said it to a girl when we were on a run club one morning. I felt very comfortable during that time because I'd been through those times of adversity before.
Of course, yeah.
But I was on my own. Everyone was in it with me on this one, and we did so well. And the best part about the whole start of COVID and throughout was the Reborn community. Because, everyone's like, oh, yeah, my gym's got a mad community, bro. We've got the best culture. But nothing showed more, like numbers-wise, who had the best community, who had the best culture, and who was going to stand by each other. And we made a pact in the team, and when we spread it through the culture, is that Reborn sticks together. No matter what happens, Reborn sticks together. And we did that, and we got through it. We were climbing numbers as we were going through because we were only gym doing what we were doing. We were getting over 100 people in a Zoom class every Saturday. We did this one Super Saturday where all the trainers would come in, and how we do it was we'd have one of the boys would be upstairs, one of the boys would be downstairs, and then I'll be at my house because I did a full-on setup. I was prepared if we went into lockdown. My garage was macked out, so I was ready for lockdown. But we all had different areas, and you were able to change the person that was running it to the next person. So we were doing like each of us did a 15-minute set, and it was just hectic. And we're getting 100 people in one session. So, and that's kind of where my next business models come from was that time.
My last question, the online program, Reborn Athletics, it was called, yeah.
That's it, Reborn Athletics. So how this all came about was obviously that we figured out that Zoom, you could train people online and we could get results. We had people come back from Zoom and we scanned them. We did a challenge through COVID. So we had people come in and get scans and stuff like that. I look back on that and think, how the hell did I run a challenge through COVID? You weren't even allowed to leave your house, and we figured out how to run a challenge where we kept everyone connected. But yeah, we figured out through Zoom that you could get not only you could stay fit, you could get proper results from it if you did it correctly with us. So we went through that time. We got the results, and it was we got some data back. I was like, shit, this is actually really good. And I was at the time, it was with Luke Lewis. Me and Louis, we filmed our first ever. We're like, we'll do this together, Louis. We had both of us had plenty of time, so we filmed the first one. It was going to be called Lewis and Young, and we were doing it, and it was hectic, right? It was really good, and we got all the promo stuff, and it was ready to go. And we were about to launch, but just before we launched, the gyms were allowed to go back in. So I was back doing my thing with Reborn. He was back doing his stuff with Fox at the time. And we both got pulled away. And this was a lesson that I learned, that we kept trying to, I'm like, all right, we'll put it off a month and then we'll do it. But it was too hard to get Louis to come in and film what he was doing. And then it was too hard to pull me away from what I was doing because I was like, it wasn't under the one roof. I think we've spoken about that before as well. So it just kind of died out. But I'm like, there's something there that can work. And what we were doing was we were filming us training in front of the camera, and then we'll put the sessions online in a month program. We're going to sell them. I'm like, there's something there. We've got results from it, from the Zoom, and as well, and I genuinely believe this, like, and it sounds a bit arrogant, but like I genuinely believe if you get me in front of anyone, whether it's in real life or if it's on the camera, I can genuinely help them. I feel like I can positively impact anyone's life that I come to, whether that's true or not. That's what I believe. So, and that's why I'm a big believer in like this model working. So it didn't work with me and Louis because it was too hard getting us together, right? Then I'm like, all right, how can I make this work? And this changed my mind through a lot of things, and it was through the book Rich Dad Poor Dad.
I've read that.
I think you was one of your top 3 or top 5 books of all time or something like that. But I remember you talking about, and there was a group of about 10 of us that read at the same time, and that one book has probably changed my mindset of everything, right? So I read that one, then I read Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, back to back. And I'm like, all right, 2021 is going to be year of the assets. Now, what I realized with myself was that I wanted to do all these things, right? I wanted to do the Reborn, Lewis and Young. I wanted to do the Reborn merch. I wanted to do Reborn retreats, but I was doing everything on my own. And it was quite difficult, and I'd only half-assed these things because my number one thing was Reborn. So what I changed was that I've got now with Reborn Athletic, right? It's me, Patty, and Tommy. We're together every single day. And we've got the same marketing guy that we use for Reborn. And Damien Cook is coming on board as well, but he's more of like your ambassador, so he doesn't necessarily have to be there all the time. So now I'm getting the operational stuff, the operational tasks. I'm not having to do it more myself.
Fucking earth, yeah.
And then that was my biggest killer. So now it's all under the one roof. Nate does all the filming. He already does all my filming anyway. So it's all blended under the one thing. We can just roll it in, and it's just that we just
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. You like
ATR Sports and all this sort of stuff.
Exactly.
That's how I build business models off the back of not going away from what you're normally doing.
And I'm not going to lie to you, you're the reason what that changed my mind, because I remember hearing you say that, and I was like, bang, it clicked one day. I'm like, this is why I can't do these other things, is because I'm trying to do it all myself, and then like it's you just end up getting pulled one direction, you half-ass that, and then you go back, and then you the thing, your number one thing, that's the one that fails, or not fails, that's the one that suffers. So I went, all right, sweet, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build this Reborn Athletic. I'm going to do it with Tommy, Paddy, and Cookie and Dozer. They're going to be involved with me. Each of us has our own role. Then the Reborn merchandise.
Dozer in there as well, is he?
Do you know? No, Dozer. I'm not sure. It's not the same Dozer you would know. Dozer's my marketing guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his name's Andrew Hendo.
It's Benny Hunt's nickname.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Why Dozer?
I don't know.
He's not really big for a Dozer. Oh, but he's
Might have been when he was a kid or something.
a bit aggressive though. For a little fella, he's very aggressive. And then like Reborn merch, I've got a girl that's going to help me out with that. And then with the Reborn retreats, I've got Dykesy who's going to be doing that with me. So I've just gone, all right, I'm going to technically start up these little businesses, but they're all umbrellaed under Reborn, and they all flow with Reborn. They all align with it. And I've just noticed, like, it's only been 2 months into the year, but everything's flowing really well, and I can do them at 100% opposed to 50% here, a little bit here. Like it's got me dialed in. But the Reborn Athletic one's the one I'm most excited about.
So what's your point of difference? There's obviously a lot of online sort of training, is it? There would be a little bit,
There is. There's heaps of it, right? And our point of difference is obviously the number one thing is that we've got the NRL boys coming in, right? So there's no other online programs online at the moment where you get to train with, you know, Corey Norman or Damien Cook. There's none of that, right? So that's our number one point of difference. Number two is we're real. Have you ever seen one of those online programs? And
I haven't seen them, bro.
Oh, they're not even sweating. They'll be like, all right, we can do mountain climbers, and they look like a robot.
Yeah.
And everything looks so perfect, bro. We're like, you've done it. We're sweating, we're swearing, like it's just the boys.
It's fucking tough. And it is.
It's hard, eh?
It's good. It's good. You feel good after.
It's really good. So our point of difference is that, like you guys here, and a lot of our business model is based off what you guys do here, is that it's just real. It's just the boys being the boys. And what kind of struck this idea was when people would always go to me, but what's it like to train with Corey Norman? Does he go good? I'm like, yeah, he goes hard. And it's like, most people would be like, what does Luke Lewis do to look like that? So getting those questions and then going, all right, people want to know how these people train. Why don't we put it in front of them and show them that they can train with them? And the boys, like, they find these sessions just as hard as anyone else would. It's not natural for them to be doing like burpees.
And don't be scared by that. It's like, obviously you can tailor it towards you as well. You're not just pushing and be at home as well. But if you really want to push yourself, if you're feeling good that day, fuck, you're going to get a good fucking workout. And I was struggling for a while.
That's the thing, right? We cater it so that, you know, there's two different levels through the session. You can either do like, you know, the 15 reps, or you can do the 30 reps. You know, there's always the options for you guys to be able to do that as well. But it's for me, it's so exciting to be able to get in front of people. Like I said before, like I really genuinely believe if I get in front of someone, I can help them out. And this way is so scalable for me to, you know, be able to help more people. Do it with the boys.
That's the thing that
as well.
excites me. It's the old build once and sell twice model. And obviously I've looked into a lot of different business models, and I sell online courses and I'm building a few more. But man, when you see that like type of revenue come in and you're like, fuck, I don't feel like I've had to work as hard.
Yeah.
It changes your life a little bit.
Yeah.
And like this is not a revenue driven chat, but it makes you more scalable. You can't one-on-one PT with everyone.
No, there's only so many hours in the week to do that. And again, coming back to you, but you changed my mindset. You're always talking about that, you know, you've got to do e-commerce. It's the way of the future. If you don't have an online business now, you should. And that was another beautiful thing of COVID, right? It forced you. And I was always like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go online. I'm going to do this, because I knew it was scalable, but I never had the time. You know, that was always the excuse. It's not, I never had time, but now you see it. And let's just say worst case scenario, we go back into lockdown. I can then go hard. I've already got the Zoom. We're still doing Zoom. We've got 15 classes a week we do through Zoom. So, you know, we're training people in New Zealand. Taryn Burgess, James Graham's partner, she left our gym because she had to go over to England to watch James play. She trained with us every single day. Didn't miss a day. She was with us all the time. So we're training people in England. We got to train some of the boys that were like Chase Stanley and stuff that were over there. So we're training all these people all over the world, and it's because like you told me like you got to go on you got to get onto e-commerce, and now we've got the Zoom. And then say we would go back into lockdown, bro. Then we've got Reborn Athletic that we can pump, and then we've got now Reborn merch is gonna be going as well. So I'm just, you know, having that plan B if that does happen. I've got
revenue
backups.
Revenue streams.
Yeah,
just diversify them as well, and it's exciting to see your growth, bro.
It's hectic, huh? It's still changing.
All right, what's the plan for the future? Obviously, you talked about a lot of it. We'll do another podcast a year from now. What are we going to be talking about?
Yeah, so I don't want to give too much away with what I'm going to do, but if we when we have this next podcast, it'll be my own podcast studio. But I'm building a big empire, man. This is at the moment I'm looking at a big factory, but it's not going to be just me in this factory. It's very early days at the moment. We're actually about to submit a proposal tomorrow. And once we
it's
do,
a good spot. I know where it is too.
You know, huh? Hey, bro. If I get this, it'll be a game changer, and it'll be exactly what I tell my boys every day. It'll be an empire. And when we get it,
I like the vocab. Just switch up. So it's important.
100%, bro. When we get it, we'll do the podcast in there, and I promise you, the first podcast we do,
me,
100, bro. Has to.
Beauty scopes in there when I'm coming in. I was like, oh, Trevor, you fucked me over here. All right, my guy. Thanks for coming on. Can't wait to watch you succeed.
Thanks, my bro. Appreciate it.